History is a tapestry woven with triumphs and tragedies. We celebrate Rome's emperors and conquests, but often overlook the darker threads, silent catastrophes that reshaped the world. Among these is a ghostly chapter, a disaster so profound it shook the Roman Empire at its height. This was not a war of swords, but a battle against an invisible enemy. It crept through the empire's roads and cities, sparing no one, rich or poor, powerful or weak. Arriving during the famed Pax Romana, it exposed the fragility beneath Rome's invincible image. The interconnectedness that made Rome strong also made it vulnerable. A sickness from afar could now sweep across continents. This is not just a medical story, but a lesson in how a connected world can be both a blessing and a curse. To understand, we must look beyond the glory of Marcus Aurelius and listen to the whispers of the forgotten. Ancient physicians, tax records, and mass graves hold the silent testimony of millions. This is the story of a world-altering event, a shadow long hidden in the annals of Rome. It's time to bring this forgotten catastrophe into the light. The stage is set for the Antonine Plague. The shadow had a name, the Antonine Plague, or Plague of Galen. It emerged around 165 AD, carried west by Roman legions returning from the Parthian front. Soldiers, triumphant in battle, unknowingly brought home a far deadlier foe. The empire was at its zenith, secure, prosperous, and culturally vibrant. Yet, the plague struck at the height of Rome's power, not its decline. Galen, the era's greatest physician, witnessed the devastation firsthand, documenting symptoms and suffering. His writings transformed the plague into a vivid human tragedy. Modern experts believe it was likely smallpox or measles, new to the Mediterranean with no immunity among the population. What might have been mild elsewhere became a catastrophic killer in Rome. The Antonine Plague's novelty and lethality would change the empire forever. Galen's descriptions reveal a nightmare. High fever, agonizing throat, unquenchable thirst, and a dark pustular rash. Victims suffered severe diarrhea and vomiting, hastening death. The plague spread relentlessly, following legions and trade routes from the eastern frontier to Rome's heart. No city or province was spared. The empire's own infrastructure became a highway for death. At its peak, thousands died daily in Rome alone. Mass graves filled as families and entire villages vanished. Modern estimates suggest up to a third of the empire's population perished, millions lost in just over a decade. The Roman army was decimated, recruitment faltered, and agricultural collapse led to famine. The imperial treasury emptied as taxpayers died. The plague didn't just kill people, it crippled the systems that held the empire together. Rome's strength was bleeding away, leaving it vulnerable for centuries to come. The Antonine Plague was a slow, relentless force that changed the course of history. Its scars would never fully heal. The Antonine Plague fundamentally altered Rome's destiny. The loss of life created a manpower crisis. Legions were filled with gladiators, slaves, even bandits. For the first time, Rome was on the defensive, struggling to hold its borders. Economically, fields lay fallow, mines emptied, and famine followed pestilence. Trade collapsed, the tax base vanished, and the government resorted to debasing currency, triggering inflation and instability. Socially, the old gods seemed powerless, and faith faltered. Christianity, offering hope and community, surged in popularity. The plague didn't cause Christianity's rise, but it created fertile ground for new beliefs. A psychological shift gripped the empire. Optimism gave way to anxiety and fatalism. Minority groups, especially Christians, were scapegoated for the disaster. The Antonine Plague marked the end of Rome's golden age and the beginning of a long era of crisis. The empire would never be the same. The world after the Antonine Plague was irrevocably changed. Rome's weakened military could no longer secure its vast borders, inviting new threats and instability. Labor shortages increased the value of workers, leading to early forms of serfdom as peasants were tied to the land. Cities declined, economies became local, and the interconnected marketplace of old fragmented. The government grew more autocratic, relying on bureaucracy and force to maintain order. Civic pride faded, replaced by hierarchy and coercion. The trauma of the plague spurred a spiritual transformation. Mystery cults and Christianity flourished, offering hope beyond this fragile world. The empire survived, but as a harder, more brittle version of itself. The Antonine Plague's most enduring legacy was this shift in ideas and faith. It set the stage for the Middle Ages and the modern West. Rome's DNA had been rewritten by fever. Why is the Antonine Plague so little remembered? Few detailed records survive. Chaos and time have erased much of its story. Later plagues like the Black Death left richer documentation, making them more prominent in our memory. Rome's decline is often blamed on invasions or corruption, not invisible microbes. The plague's effects were slow and intertwined with other crises, making its role harder to isolate. The reign of Marcus Aurelius is remembered for Stoic philosophy, not the horrors of pandemic. The Antonine Plague is a systems crisis, complex, gradual, and hard to narrate. Its legacy is subtle but profound: a weakened army, a shifting society, a changed world. It remains a whisper in history, its true significance only now coming to light. Remembering the Antonine Plague is more than a historical footnote. It's a vital reflection on civilization's fragility. Rome, at its height, was brought low not by armies, but by a microscopic foe. The plague shows how disease can reshape politics, economics, religion, and culture for centuries. Interconnectedness, Rome's strength, was also its vulnerability, a lesson for our globalized age. Yet the story is also one of resilience. Leaders governed, doctors studied, and people found new hope. The Antonine Plague is a testament to humanity's capacity to adapt and endure. Forgetting such events is a luxury we can't afford. Each lost chapter holds lessons for our own time about humility, preparation, and compassion. By uncovering these shadows, we gain wisdom for the future. The Antonine Plague's legacy is survival, adaptation, and the enduring human spirit.